Good morning, Joy-Nostalg.
Okay, good morning once again. And now let's move on to our interview questions for this afternoon. For question 1, can you recall a time when being simple, clear, and straightforward helped your team understand a complex issue?
Well, since we're discussing about simplicity, I think simplicity is about being clear. It's clarity. And clarity is equivalent to being understood. It's equivalent also to being straightforward. And by being straightforward, you cut the noise and you focus on truly what matters in your operations or in your establishment.
Okay. And for question 2, what practices help you focus on what truly matters in your daily leadership?
What truly matters in my daily leadership, since I assumed this role last December, my main objective was to create a safe space in our hotel. In the hotel industry, you work with people, you work with guests, and these are daily interactions. These are different people, different background. So transparency is very important. You have to involve your leaders, you have to involve your people down to the ground so that they understand what's the common goal, they are aligned. And you just have to be open, you just have to present yourself the way you are. Kumbaga sabi nga nila, you get what you see, something like that. And also, honesty is very important in our field. Not only in the hotel, but I think in all our business units, honesty is very important.
I agree with you with that, Rory. No? Safe space and just being open and being transparent. And question number 3, how have you navigated the dynamics of leading people who are older or more experienced than you?
I'll share some of my experiences way back in my previous property. In my previous property, ang dami talagang mga seasoned employees, or let's be straight, old age already, who are working in that company. And some of them, I used to report to them. Some of them were my supervisors, some of them were my managers. And it came to a point that, turn things around, I became their manager, I became their leader. So it's very difficult. It's very difficult on my part on how you can automatically follow you or respect you or probably do what you want them to do. But I always start with being humble. Second is to treat them with respect. Sometimes addressing them by sir, ma'am is a big thing for them. Especially mga room attendants namin doon, they're already at 40, 50s, 55. And it's very difficult for them it's very difficult for me na you have to tell them what to do. And then some of their comments is that sino tong bagong manager na to, na bata, na nagbibigay na instructions sa amin. But it boils down to respect. It boils down to acknowledging their expertise and believing on their capabilities.
So yeah, I would also agree with that one, especially if you give respect and then you recognize their expertise, then there will be sharing. And for our question number 4, how do you stay anchored in your purpose, especially when things get busy or chaotic?
You have to know and establish your purpose. For myself, being the one leading the hotel team, I need to establish myself as being the leader, being the navigator, being the captain. But also, you also have to give importance to your leadership team. I always value the leadership team. It's not because that I am the leader, ibig sabihin ako lang lahat. Most of the time, I get the answers from my leader. Most of the time, I get the ideas from my leaders. And then, siguro po, pasok ako dun sa area wherein I contribute yung mga experiences ko before and what I think, what we can do better dun sa mga ideas nila.
Okay, thank you. For question 5, can you share a moment when adapting your tone on strategy helped improve team communication or customer service?
you have to read the room. You have to read your people. You have to connect with them. Like what I've said, in the hotel industry, you work with people. You work with guests. So you have to know your team members, yung background nila. Sometimes a little talk, a little chat with them means a lot because you spend time discovering them, and then from there you connect, and then you understand their needs. You understand how do they want things to happen, and you help them from there.
Okay. And for our next question, in what ways have you worked to make system or processes in your area more efficient or effective?
There are three roles that I always keep in mind and make sure that it's in place. In a team, there's different kinds of kumbaga background, different kinds of sets of skills and experiences. So it's always you have to identify the thinkers, you identify the teachers, and then the followers. The thinkers are very important because they're the ones setting everything. They're the ones setting the objective and the goals. Teachers are also important because not all thinkers are good teachers. So yung mga teachers yung mga may, obviously they have the patience to teach. They have the patience to mold and groom and improve all the team members. And then there are also followers, not because they're just followers. They can be a good followers, but not maybe they don't have this strength to become a teacher or thinker, but can be a good follower. So you just have to divide it into three parts.
Okay, that's being keen, no? Especially in leadership, like what you've said. It's either really recognizing the strength of your people, whether they are a thinker, a teacher, or a follower. And for question number 7, how has your journey from agent to leader shaped your understanding of what people on the ground need to succeed?
I think it's very important to know where you have started. Rising from the ranks is very important because this is where, again, I'm going back to connecting to the people. If you have experienced yourself doing check-ins in hotels, making up rooms, servicing the guests in the restaurant, you would understand your people. You would understand their day-to-day job. You would also understand what are the things they need for them to execute their roles properly.
Okay. And we both been there.
Yeah.
So alam natin yung struggles of learning,
Yeah.
of really catching up, and really improving to be where we are right now. And that's good for us because we recognize where we came from. And from that, may purpose talaga on how we would lead those people or the next generation that we have. And for my next question, what small innovations or improvements have brought real value to your guests or team?
The small innovation, probably I would say, is I'll go back to the creating safe space. When I joined the hotel team, I noticed when we do briefings, it's very quiet. There's only selective people that are talking. There are only selective people that are raising their ideas or suggestion. So, as a person who's very casual, that's the first thing that I did. I connected with them in a very casual way that everyone can speak without being judged. Everyone can share their ideas without being blocked. For me, it's very important na you start the day very light. You start the day cracking jokes. You start the day, magkwento kayo, anong gusto nyo ikwento, because that sets the mood of the team. And then once you have set that, everyone is free to talk. Everyone is free to express themselves. And that's the innovation probably that happened in the past months. As you can see, the hotel is more connected to the other business units of Joy-Nostalg. We launched several initiatives that probably most of you have noticed it. we became more active in social medias. We launched the cart. We launched different promos, not just to the guests, but to the whole Joy-Nostalg community. And this is because the people were able to freely express themselves. The people in our team had the confidence to share their ideas without being blocked, without being judged.
Okay, thanks, Rory. I think all of us could relate to that one, that we really need a safe space in our work area so that we can freely share our thoughts, our ideas, and we don't know that this can be a successful one. And for our last question for Rory, how do you balance giving clear direction and allowing team members space to take ownership?
One word, it's empowerment. You have to give free authority, or give your team the freedom to lead their own or lead their respective departments. From there, yung innovation and the having the ownership would kick in right away, because these leaders will feel that their main leaders, trust them, and giving them this freedom to do or to simply execute what they want.
Thank you, Rory. So that's delegation through empowerment, and it's simplified through giving a clear structure as well. So any parting words to our JN community here on the value of simplicity?
To end this mind session, I just have a very simple parting words to everyone. It doesn't take anyone doesn't need you to spend, doesn't need you to even exert effort. It's just that you need to find it. You have to find your motivation. And this motivation is very important, because whether your motivation would be God, would be your family, would be something or someone, it is very important. Even if it comes to a point na itong motivation ninyo mawala for a certain period of time, you have to find it, because this motivation would simply create your life. And by creating your life is, giving your best. And sometimes in life it's not always about winning. What's important is you gave your best. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rory. So just to give that, it's more of motivation. So daily motivating yourself. You got to know your purpose. You got to know why are you living and why are you working for the day-to-day. So ang sabi ni Rory sa atin, di ba, if you lost it, and then you can find another one. So keep on motivating yourself.